looks to me like your boy Gilbert Arenas is snitching. Because he got picked up for that and then was out like the next day. He got out quicker than Chauncey did, that's for sure. Welcome to He Did This to Me, the sports podcast from a father and son who happen to be mostly optimistic Knicks, Mets, and Jets fans. My name is Nick, a.k.a. Goody, and with me is my old man, a.k.a. the big guy, Noel. And just like his name, all we do is win. Let's get to the show. It's time to begin. The new look Knicks. You came in nicked down today, the shirt, the hat.
I don't know why. It just worked out that way, but yeah, why not? Well, I put on the shirt and then your mom suggested the hat, so we went with that.
Yo, listen, there's lots of reason to want to sport your Knick gear right now, 2-0. How we feeling, big guy? Talk to me.
Okay, you know me. Take it easy. It's 2-0. It's 2 games.
Yo,
but
we're going 82-0.
All right. But it's a good start. They're playing a good brand of ball. Now, they played, the rubber hits the road when you get a little further in the season and you start playing some of those teams out west who look, absolutely.
No, Cleveland was the best record in the league, second best record in the league last year.
Cleveland doesn't look right. Cleveland's going to look better than they looked the other night.
One game.
I know.
Donovan's still crazy.
He had a crazy game.
The third quarter. There was one point where he shot that three where, OG and Bridges were basically both guarding him and he just decided to shoot a 32-footer instead. Even from that far away, it looked like he was like taking like a small basketball and just like throwing it into like a tiny hoop.
Yeah.
Like you could just tell on a string out of his hand that shit was wet.
There's sometimes when he's just incredible. But it's funny you bring up him straight off the bat because I was talking to your Uncle Godfrey last night, and he was talking about Mitchell. And I think Mitchell's a great player. I do. I love it. He's from New York. I would love it if he played for the Knicks. But I still don't think. If I had to choose back then, I'm glad we got Brunson.
Oh, Brunson's the better player.
Brunson's a better all-around player. He's a better all-around leader.
Yes. I agree with both
that's
of
what
those
I
things.
feel for our team. And listen, I think the Knicks are playing well. Josh Hart only had his first game. I'm looking for him to round out a little bit. Round in
the form, is that what you were
something
going
like
for?
that? There you go. But he's a guy who we're going to need his intangibles. And then Yabusele,
Yabusele is fat. He's like 285.
He looks a little, he's been down with the French pastries.
He was
the boulangerie.
Baguettes and shit.
Right.
Listen, I think that, speaking of Josh Hart, the way that he was able to be inserted. So everybody, we got to talk about the lineup, and it played more in the first game. It started the second game, which is just an absolute, just music to Knicks fans' ears. Who
started this second game?
It was Deuce in the starting lineup with the other four. The other four,
right?
We know who that. It was about the fifth.
And why did who sat instead of Deuce?
Huck. Huck started in game one.
Right. No Hawk. So that pushed him to the 5, pushed Cat to the 5. Right. Listen, a little change-up isn't bad.
But what I was impressed with was how Josh Hart reinserted himself into the lineup in that second game. And to me, that's peak Josh Hart. Give me 22 minutes of just absolute chaos. He had huge plays, huge rebounds. 14 rebounds in 19 minutes is crazy.
Right.
And it's just, to me, that's exact. Josh Hart is one of those guys that if you give him like up to 30 minutes, he fucking shines. When you ask him to play 37, the warts show more. You know what I mean? Like he's a guy that he can do so much for a team, and he's going to be in the end closing lineups very often. Even the starting lineup with Josh Hart being the fifth player that everybody hated, even that looks a little bit better when the offensive principles are more about just movement. And Josh Hart can't hit the side, can't hit the rim at all sometimes with his jump shot. But it's okay because the other team is not able to just say, okay, we're going to not guard him and we're all just going to basically ward off the paint and stare at Brunson. That gets over time, that gets really easy to defend.
It was obvious when you were looking at these two games. Some of the differences are obvious and glaring. And good in that I'm seeing, like you said, the movement, the less just squeeze on Brunson. everyone can feel a lightening of the burden on Brunson. I mean, it's apparent. You can see it. There are times when he'll still pound it, and listen, there are times when we want him to do
the NBA.
that.
You're going to need a guy who's going to be an ISO scorer. The thing I love for Brunson, I actually disagreed with him after the first game. He talked about the fact that, hey, everybody's going to make this a narrative, but I played 34 minutes and change. That's what I played last year. It's a totally different 34 minutes.
It is.
Though. He's not being like. Look, how many less times have we seen Brunson hit the floor in these 2 games?
That's true. That's true. I like me. I've always been on that. I don't like to see him hit the floor as much, and there's much less of that. And the defense has been very active, very at times frenetic, which
but it's
I love.
not just even the effort on the defense. I'm noticing
Some of the
how
principles.
they have certain times where they're doing certain things when it comes to, okay, this is how we're guarding the pick and roll. This is the thing that I notice, and this is, Mike Brown obviously spent a lot of time in championship years in Golden State. Golden State, that entire defense, when they're on the floor, they all know that Steph is on the floor. They all play defense knowing that he's on the floor, teams are going to go at him, and we're going to have to help.
Right.
And that's what this Knicks team I'm seeing they're starting to do this year, where they're just like, okay. And Brunson, I feel like he's been coached to just be more aggressive, be more handsy and stuff like that, and try to just slow them up. Because if they do just get past you, we're right there for you. And that's how you have to hide him on the defensive end.
I do notice too that, like you say, they're being more aggressive. But I feel like when the ball is swung by the other teams, at least just for these first 2 games, this is what I've observed. When the ball is swung by the other team, we seem to be getting out onto that 3-point shooter much quicker than, say, last year. Last year, it seemed like we were slower to get out, and there were more open or half-open 3-point shots against us. And these people were shooting amazing percentages at times.
I can tell you exactly why that is. Tom Thibodeau's, his whole thing when it comes to defense is guard the paint. So the whole defense was made to do that, whereas this defense is a modern NBA defense which says you have to guard the 3-point line.
Right. No, I see the differences. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. The Knicks, listen, we got 80 more.
Yeah.
We got 80 more. And, there's going to be good and bad. But so far, so good. A very good start.
You think they called up Tibbs at halftime and asked him for a few more tips just because, things weren't going so well? What's up with that, man? What's up with Tibbs going and talking with the ops? You're like,
no. Listen. He's a free agent now. So what? He still has to be beholden to the Knicks. He coached for Celtics before he coached for the Knicks.
A couple months later, you're giving out state secrets?
Who knows that he's giving out state secrets?
That's exactly what they said. They said that he went there and told them about certain things that we noticed about them, and that's how we beat them last year.
Look, man, people can write whatever they want. I think the man, it works. He doesn't work for the organization anymore. They pushed him out the door. He can do whatever he wants. I don't understand how you're thinking like he has to have this faith to the Knicks when we know that in this business you'd be a fool to have that sort of faith and belief. No, coaches, players, everybody. It's just the way it is. It's the nature of the game. He has many friends in this league who don't necessarily coach for the Knicks. He's going and he's working with Tibbs he's a student, so he's also going to places just to learn and listen. And, he don't spend his time. It's not like he's got a family he sits at home with. That's what I'm telling you. This is what you're going to see from this guy from here till he gets another job. He's going to be going around doing shit like this, just at other people's practices and so forth.
Yeah. Listen, I thought the fact that, when they're interviewing Jaylen Brown and he's talking about the fact that as soon as I say Jaylen Brown, I start to laugh because I'm asking myself to hear the question. That motherfucker's wilding. But with Tibbs, he's talking about the fact that this guy is, telling us some things that he saw last year. I just thought that was a little odd. And did you also hear the report this week that Tibbs felt betrayed?
I didn't read. I saw the headline, but I didn't read it. Of course, he felt
by
betrayed.
By the Brunsons specifically.
Well, I'm sure he felt betrayed because maybe he would have probably liked it because he probably feels like if Jalen Brunson and Dad Brunson had said no way, that it wouldn't have happened.
I don't know about Dad Brunson, but if Jalen says that, I think that's absolutely the case.
That may be the case, but again.
Sorry, Tibbs. We played 11 people in the first 13 minutes. Tyler Kolek looks like a legitimate NBA player.
Nick, I thought about this when I'm watching this guy. Seriously. I think we both know basketball, but it just goes to show you we don't know that much, and these guys see things that we don't see because coming into the end of preseason, we were like, get him out of here.
Somebody has
ship
to
him out. Take him. I don't care. And now he looks like a very legitimate backup point guard. If anything has wowed me these first 2 games, it's been that.
Kolek, first of all, he's a player that needs to have talent around him on the NBA level because of how much of a facilitator he is. Summer league and, garbage time minutes, he's not suited for that. He's better when he has guys around him because that's what his game is. And now what he's realizing is I have to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive side, for looking for my own shot so that these guys respect it. And then when he does that, it opens it up even more. I mean, just like getting people that little pocket pass to OG running straight down the middle of the floor, playing a little bit of defense, getting some deflections. Seen him get like a strong rebound at one point. Yeah, man. And you know what? Maybe towards the end of that, training camp and practice, Brogdon was getting done.
You know what, Nick? That's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe Kolek was busting his ass.
He was like,
damn. Now, one of 2 things. Right. Either Brogdon said, you know what, man? This little young dude is busting my ass. I maybe need to step to the side. Yeah. Or the Knicks said, listen, man, we'll give you a good way out, whatever you want to do, but you're going to get cut.
Right.
You know, so he just decided, fuck it, I'm retiring.
Yeah.
I think that's really possible, Nick, because I was looking at Kolek play, and I'm like, if Kolek was playing like this in practice against Brogdon, and Brogdon looked pretty good, I will admit, I look at it now, and I was more complimentary to Brogdon. Sometimes, man, you just want to believe. You want to believe, and it really.
Oh, I mean, I'm always.
He looked old. But he looked old. He looked a little rickety.
But Brogdon looked old when he was a rookie.
He's that guy. It's because of the haircut.
It's the haircut. It's the game. Everything about Brogdon is old school. You know what I mean? Like, they was calling that dude old school when he was 8. But yeah, no. I mean, look, Kolek. I'm loving Shamet minutes off the bench. Yo, man.
Shamet's this guy's going to get legit minutes this year, Nick.
He's the first guy off the bench right now.
Really? I mean, I'm like,
coming on before Clarkson. We'll see with Josh Hart as the season goes on and he, comes back from this injury. But look, man, Shamet can hit a 3.
Shamet's looking legit.
He plays hard defense. He had a crazy rebound yesterday. He goes hard on the glass.
He plays hard, man.
For a guy his size. And I just, I just like Sham. He seems like a guy that if you were like on the team, you'd be like, oh, that dude Landry, that motherfucker cool as fuck. You know what I mean? Like he seems like he's a great.
Well, and he's big. He's a big photography guy.
Yes.
He has that little friggin' digital camera that makes him look like a real photog. I'm telling you, it looks professional.
Hey man, look, Deuce is he's looking like he's ready to level jump again. And I feel like we say that about Deuce every single year. And there was a level jump at one point. Last year wasn't quite the one that I expected. But this year, the defensive thing has always been there. The shot has always been there. It's just a confidence thing with Deuce. Deuce really comes down to him confident. And I just would love to see him, go to the basket a few more times, which he did have like a running layup yesterday high off the glass.
He's gone to the basket more in these first 2 games than
everybody
he did in about 20 games last year.
Yeah.
But he's looking better. His dribble, his handle's looking a little better.
A little bit that.
I know, but I see you in the brothers and sons chat talking about, pumping up your man OG.
OG's handle's much better,
Nick,
than it was. It's not great, but it's much better than it was.
Errand, I will guarantee you.
OG bringing the ball up,
No,
point
I'm telling
OG.
you, it's fool's gold.
I don't know, man. Look, he's been doing a pretty good job with the handle this year. He hasn't had like any type of like whirling dervish type shit where the ball ends up in the third row. He has
coming.
Of course, it's going to be there every once in a while. But look, I think OG's worked on his handle. I think OG's offensive game continues to mature and become more consistent. We saw that was his level jump last year when all of a sudden you see OG like jab stepping people and shooting threes like he's mellow and shit. Yeah. And he's doing that again now, and he's a consistent shooter. He is the second best defender probably in the NBA, in my personal opinion.
Who's first?
Some guy that we're definitely going to have to talk about, that man Wemby.
Oh, of course. I thought you were going to say maybe Derek White.
I don't want to hear none of that shit. Derek White.
Derek White's pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
I'm not saying he's better than OG because OG can play more positions because he's stronger.
And OG's
but Derek White he's quite the best on defense.
OG's the best help defender I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Is it like you can't do no shit if you try to do anything silly with the ball around the foul line?
No.
And OG's on the opposite wing.
OG's got it.
He's snatching that thing, yo. And we running the other way. I love watching OG play defense, and he's a closer too. You know, like I like both him and Bridges both have that ability to make the defensive play.
Bridges has been fantastic.
Yo,
Bridges has
been a new man.
Nothing
Bridges
short of
hates
fantastic.
Tibbs. Bridges.
Well,
I think
I've heard him say the opposite.
Of course, he's not going to say it. But I think the Koliks and the Bridges of the world they just look like an anvil's been taken off their back.
Man, please, man. I don't know why you keep going back to Tibbs though. You're the one that's obsessed. You brought up Tibbs at least twice already today.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up Tibbs a couple more times probably because he's out there with the ops, giving up state secrets, and listen.
Mike Brown's got his own thing now. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Move forward. Move forward with positivity.
Look, 2-0 is good, obviously, but it's an early season. I think. What about Cat? We haven't even really talked about that. That's the great thing. Cat and Brunson haven't had otherworldly games.
No.
They've both been solid. They've both been great from the line. I want to say Brunson's 19 of 21 and Cat is 18 of 21 from the line currently.
Yeah.
And Cat, I feel like what I like from Cat is that he's still finding his spots. Yesterday, earlier in that game, without Cat, just hitting some crazy threes, it could got away from us a little bit. But overall, who's that?
It's a scam.
Oh, scam likely.
Okay.
But nah.
My cousin scam likely.
I thought it was going to be Uncle Godfrey. I was going to say into the phone. But anyway, this guy, Cat, he's just so supremely talented for, his size. He's going to do some stuff that's going to drive you nuts.
Yes.
The drop coverage is still an absolute joke. But I do feel like overall defensively we have a little bit more of a plan with him as well. Where he's not that in drop coverage that much, and I feel like the rest again, the two wings especially, when he gets involved in action, they're like, okay, they're paying a little bit more attention to the fact that they might have to help Cat. You know what I mean? I think that is definitely something that we have to do because Brunson and him are such good offensive players. You got to figure out a way to balance that out, and because they're going to pose a bit of a problem on the defensive end.
I think the plan for them. Just what I've seen in these couple of games and the preseason makes me feel more positive about them going forward. It's not just as much give them the ball, get out the way, and I have to say, and I always bring this up with Cat because it's just funny. As much as I do like Cat, and he was not so great first game, much better second game for us.
I still thought he was doing pretty good in the first game.
Yeah, I mean it was fine, but. The whole thing when he's going to the basket and the herky-jerky motion when he's going to the basket and the comparison with those blow-up things in front of car dealerships is absolutely perfect.
Yeah. He is kind of like one of those wild-arm inflatable guys.
That's him going to the basket.
But he hasn't been getting that hook foul.
He hasn't been doing that, and I'm glad he's not doing that because it's stupid. But
he only gets 2 stupid fouls a game instead of 3 now.
Well, you see, and that's something Godfrey was saying to me. He's like, why doesn't somebody snatch him and scream at him and tell him he's got to? I said, but at the end of the day, Godfrey, he makes these fouls, and at the end of the game, he's got 3 or 4 fouls. That's fine.
Right. It's not
now, if he's getting those really stupid fouls and subsequently fouling out, then I'm losing my mind on this guy.
Sometimes, though, it's not necessarily about fouling out. It's about getting like a quick 2, and now you have to get out of the game. But
well, no, overall, that hurts.
But overall, I think that Cat will quietly get you around 25 points at 50% and 85% and 42%, and that is wildly. It's not just but valuable in this league, especially out of that position and the way that he stretches and opens up the floor because he has unlimited range. Love what I'm seeing from Cat. And like you said, Bridges, man, he's going to the basket more aggressively. Defensively, he's being a little bit more aggressive. Both of these games, you could see that there's times where we're the team that's, slapping people in the ref, and then the other team's looking at the refs like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, that's the new NBA, and that's what you got to do.
That is the new NBA. And listen, Nick, they've been, with these two opposite teams so far. Listen, man, I see a more physical NBA right now than there was regular season last year. Absolutely. Not quite as bad as it was in the playoff, but as we spoke about last year, somewhere in between. And we're being more, step up. I mean, it's so obvious the difference that they're letting people get away with, that they're letting them put a hand on this guy out past the foul line. If the guy tries to roll or drive, they're letting the defender put a hand on him. Before, that just wasn't allowed. I mean, it's incredible to me that just changed.
Like overnight, it felt like.
Right, but there's been no announcement, at least not to us, the public. But that must be something that they've spoken to the teams about and let them know that that's going to change, because it's a glaring difference.
I don't know if they speak to the teams or not. I'm sure the teams try to speak to them about it. But I do remember, not this, like at the beginning of last season, there was reports saying that the NBA, there was an edict to the referees to let things be a little bit more physical. And I think that
maybe they did it again. It
swings too far on the pendulum, and then now it's coming back. But hey, next game is against Miami, and then we have Milwaukee. And
the Milwaukee game is going to be a test, man. They've leveled up maybe a little bit. No Dame, but with Miles Turner, that makes them, more fun.
I mean, Giannis is looking like an MVP.
Yeah, Giannis is playing crazy.
Yeah.
You got Miles Turner out there, can shoot a three.
Kyle Kuzma,
word, Now that must be some fashion get-together when those guys get together, huh?
Well, who?
Holy
I mean,
smokes.
you talking about Miles Turner and Kuzma?
Yeah, Kuzma's sleeves are all the way over slapping you in the face.
Yeah.
Miles Turner, spicy.
They got your boy Big Head Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony there too, right? So that's he's coming off the bench, though. I heard. But
they got the Thanasis.
That's something I thought about. He's got
the third brother on the squad now.
I know. It's like, dude, man, are these guys all getting together for like Greek meals at the Antetokounmpo house? But this is something I thought about. Suppose the Knicks did make the trade for him, right?
We got to put that. We need to get the Thanasis too.
Do you have to bring at least the Thanasis also?
And that's the thing, man.
That's insane to me.
Hell yeah, because you're
going to trade for this dude and then waste a roster spot on Thanasis?
Listen, Jameson, who got like 8 strong minutes in the first game, your boy Jameson.
Yes, Jemison.
Jemison, whatever you want to call him.
I say Jemison, but it is pronounced James.
Okay.
But it's spelled Jemison.
So I said it right.
Yeah, you did, but it's spelled Jemison. That's why
I know it's spelled with an
Jemison.
E, but it said Jameson. But, he was in street clothes yesterday because Josh Hart was activated. Yeah. I can't have Thanasis taking up that spot.
No way.
Fuck no.
Well, I mean, listen. Thanasis, is there another spot after, say, Jemison yesterday, who wears even a lower grade of clothing, but it's still street clothes? Actually, he's only allowed to wear a hoodie.
He's a two-way player.
Right. My point is that, if Jemison is that guy, and there can't be another Jameson, and there can't be another, then I'm not going to have Thanasis to take Jameson's role.
Absolutely,
no way.
Absolutely
I mean, clearly this guy Jameson is light years better than Thanasis now.
Thanasis? Oh yeah.
Thanasis, it's like, are you serious?
I know, people talk shit about Bronny. I'm like, yo, what? Thanasis?
Right. This is worse. I think Thanasis is worse than Bronny.
Yes. Absolutely, he's worse than Bronny. No doubt.
Nobody's talking about that. Who's better, Thanasis or Bronny? That's a good question. Put that up on the chat.
Why they all over Bron, yo? They need to start. They need to talk to the Greek
How come Stephen A. ain't said no shit about that? No, I'm just kidding.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. But yeah, man. Hey, listen. All the optimism in the world for this Knicks team right now. Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Sometimes they throw the camera to him when things are going bad, and the face that he has, it's like, yo, I'm glad we're up by 8 right now, and not consistently down by 8, because I'd be really annoyed by that face if like the team wasn't doing well.
Yeah. It's listen, man. There's going to be some trials and tribulations, but so far so good. Onward and upward.
One thing I also see is, we killed them on the boards in both games. We out-rebounded, I think, by 13.
Even without Mitch.
With no Mitch. And, with no Mitch or Josh Hart in the first game, which those are our 2 best rebounders, literally. Josh Hart comes back, obviously, like I said, gets 14 rebounds in 19 minutes. But what I'm seeing is, similar to what Josh Hart does a lot, I'm seeing the OGs and the Shamits, and even I saw Bridges and Deuce. You can tell that, like, they've been told on offense to, like, especially when the other team, or especially when we shoot a 3, to hang out at, like, the foul line extended. because that's where a lot of those rebounds are coming off when you shoot a three. And I think that's led to a lot of offensive rebounds. This mid situation.
I don't know. I mean, Nick, I'm tired of hearing words like maintenance.
Nah, that's bullshit.
He
hurt his ankle.
But what do you mean maintenance? And when did he hurt his ankle? Did he play?
He played a half. There was the second game of the preseason game. I want to say.
When's the last time he played?
He played the first half of a preseason game, and then all the starters came out in the second half except for him, and we haven't seen him since.
And how many more preseason games were there after that?
2. Well, at least maybe 1, but I think at least 2. I think 2.
Those 2. And then now 2 games, regular season games, and he's still nowhere to be found. He wasn't even on the sideline, was he?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, I didn't see
it.
Yeah,
because he was sitting next. He was over there. There's a clip of him and he's sitting next to Diawara, and they're both getting hyped because we had a really good defensive possession.
I mean, so if we're playing 11 guys, Diawara's the 12th guy. Yeah. Diawara is suited up though, right?
Nah, he's in street.
No,
he's suited up. Yes, he's suited up.
He's suited up.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I want to see that dude get some run.
Listen,
but who's he playing instead of?
Yesterday, if we would have stretched the lead, maybe we would have saw him. But we ended up making that game a lot harder than we had to, especially with some turnovers. How do you feel about Stan Van Gundy? How did you feel about the Amazon broadcast overall?
The Amazon broadcast was weak. I was saying to your mom, I thought the NBC broadcast, I thought was pretty good. I thought Melo could have dressed a little better, but I mean, come
when
on,
I saw
man.
Melo, I knew you were going to say some shit.
What are you doing? Everybody else has got on a jacket and tie. What are you doing? I didn't like the outfit, no matter what, and I surely didn't like it for that situation. Come on, man, you're Melo. But I thought
Does Melo wear suits? I never see Melo in those suits.
Never see Melo wear suits. Okay, so wear something different. I don't know.
It's like draft day.
Wear like a Nehru collar or something.
Right.
Some Mao Zedong shit. So maybe you go. The guys who did the NBA broadcast in the game, they were entertaining with Breen and
but that's TNT. I'm sorry. I'm ESPN rather.
ESPN. Sorry.
Breen is ESPN
with Legler. Right.
I thought that Legler, Richard Jefferson, and Breen.
I like them.
I like those 3.
I like them.
I like those 3.
I thought the studio show yesterday with, what's this young lady?
Blake Griffin and
Taylor Rooks.
Taylor Rooks, yeah.
I always laugh about that, of course.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was very dry, very corny. With Dirk and Steve Nash.
I thought that Dirk and Steve Nash weren't very good. I do like Blake Griffin. I like Blake Griffin.
I like Blake Griffin, but it seems to me like he's so much more animated in his commercials than he is on this.
I think it's a little bit different.
But, I know.
But I like Blake Griffin. I've seen him on a couple comedy podcasts. He's even tried out some standout. I think he was on Comedy Central one time.
Yeah, I think he will do well in front of the camera.
Yeah, Blake Griffin does well, and I don't like Stan Van Gundy. I don't like Stan.
Oh
Van Gundy.
Wait, who else is on that thing? It's more than just him, Dirk, and
Udonis Haslem is the last guy.
UD, yeah, UD's pretty good.
I'm not a huge Haslam fan. He hates on the Knicks all the time. He's such a Heat homer. Even though he was being complimentary to the Knicks last night, especially their defense. And, I mean, how could you not be? That's the biggest thing, man. The defense, and we're still not even shooting the ball that well, at least not for full games. And lots to be optimistic for sure, man. Lots to be optimistic. What's up with your man Chauncey and Scary Terry?
Wow.
The mob is alive.
It's so disappointing in so many ways, but it's so...
Well, I think it's important. I don't see enough people making this distinction. The fact that what Scary Terry was doing was, betting on himself or at least affecting games, with his own play, whereas Chauncey was doing some poker type shit, which is that's totally different. You know what I mean? Like, especially, Scary Terry, he's done. He's never going to play again in the league. Right. He's still going to get his $26 million this year. And that's the craziest thing about this to me, is the fact that you're doing this for $200,000. When you make $26 million a year, you've made $160 million in your career.
There's a couple things about that, Nick. One, either it's a ridiculously stupid and just addiction that you can't control, or You're doing and where it's not even so much about the money. It's about the jazz, the rush.
These dudes are coming to your house the next day with like a duffel bag full of money.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, they said that like they came.
So evidently, like but I mean, it's beyond stupid to me for them to think that they're going to all of a sudden put thousands and thousands of dollars on the under for scoring for Terry Rozier in a particular game. It's
going to get flagged.
Huh?
It's going to get flagged.
You have to know it's going to get flagged. It's not the old days where some, bent-nosed guy is taking your bet on a pad and paper. It's, come on, man. Smarten up. There, you got to know that's going to happen.
Got to know.
Number one. Number two, it's just like you said, for the money that's being made, it's ridiculous. But you know what, too, Nick? Like I tell you all the time, man. People live to their means. So that even if you say someone's making $26 million, where he's only coming home with say $15 million, and then depending on what he's doing with his money, while it's long, getting an extra $100K 1 week wouldn't be bad. So that's what he's thinking, right? But you would say, listen, man, come on, man. You got to have $1 million in the bank. What are you doing? You're taking this risk for that.
$160 million in his
right,
life.
Right.
I mean, $160 million.
Right.
If you
have any money woes,
$200,000. That's like, bro, just wait till next payday. You'll have another $200,000.
Or you have that liquid in the bank right now.
No, but literally your biweekly check is like hundreds of thousands. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you shouldn't need the money at all. And just overall, man, it's crazy. Yo, and Damon Jones, I'm sorry, but that motherfucker, he looked like he up to some shit. Damon Jones looked like he was the one that was like, I know a guy, and like he was the one that orchestrated this shit.
Well, now Damon Jones was doing shit like
he's the only one. He was doing both. Damon Jones was involved in both. He was like telling people like some shit about like, hey, he might not play tonight, some some shit like that. And he was doing the secret glasses poker type shit. You see what happened? You heard about? You know the details, right?
So wait, was supposedly Chauncey had on the secret glasses?
I don't know if he had on the secret glasses or he just knew about them and brought people to the game. But I heard.
So you're bringing people to the game, and they're going to get burnt.
They're going to get burnt. And
man, some of those people might be knocking at your door pretty soon. Well, if not already.
I saw that like some pros went like one time and were like, "Oh, I'm never going." Like that doesn't happen. Something's going on here. Like it never went again.
Right, but I heard there were some people who lost like $1 million.
Yeah.
But then this is the other thing that I don't get. Why are guys hyped up to get into a poker game? Because Chauncey Billups is playing in that.
No,
why did that float your boat?
Listen, I think it's like
I don't understand,
because it's like similar to in The Sopranos when Frank Sinatra Jr. is sitting at the game, and everybody's like, "Yo, Frank Sinatra Jr. sitting at the game."
Okay, so that makes you want to play in the game too.
If you play poker anyway, why not play with Chauncey?
So why is it more interesting to play with Chauncey as opposed to somebody else? What I want to play with is the guy who's the worst other player.
I think that Chauncey
I like playing with.
I don't know if Chauncey was. I think Chauncey might have been more of like bait. And I don't know if Chauncey was in there winning big. I think he was just like I said, the person like he knew what was going. Listen. We're gonna find out obviously more details with this. There's no point of speculating on that. I do think that there's a level of this where, the current FBI director, the current overall, administration, they're very vengeful. And the NBA has had a lot to say about them. And the way that this was released, right after the second day of the season when everybody's talking about it, I do think that is theater to a certain extent.
I definitely think that's possible. I mean, what I noticed as a difference is in years past when there was something that came out like this, if I remember correctly, I just feel like I remember, it would usually be like a special agent in charge of that region or that state or something like that. Very seldom did the director of the FBI come out to say something, unless it was something of national importance. You know what I mean?
Sure. He gives like Adam Gase type press conferences.
Right. And I mean, it's like, why does this need the national director of our federal bureau. But
You know what it is.
Hey,
You know what it is. It's theater, man.
Yeah.
It's theater. But yo, man, that shit it's sad.
It's very sad.
Especially for Chauncey. I mean, look, Scary Terry and Damon Jones, I'm not surprised. Chauncey blew me away. I was like, oh shit. They got him.
Hall of Famer.
They got Chauncey.
Isn't he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Mr. Big Shot.
Is Chauncey going to coach again?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think so, man.
I mean, listen.
You just can't have him close to the game. Not with this.
If it ends up being just poker,
I don't care. If it's any kind of high stakes poker and you're cheating, no, I cannot have you close to my sport. That's it. You're out. You're a cheater. I mean, Nick, you know how I feel about shit like that. If you want to, I just don't get it. I just think cheating is just low and it's lame. I don't understand people who cheat in sports. This is what I'm talking about in sports, because where's the thrill in winning by cheating?
I mean, it's honestly, as somebody who has played my share of poker and plays lots of blackjack as well. I played some blackjack last night. Your boy did all right. The rush that you get from that, if you know that you're cheating, there's no rush.
Where's the rush?
Yeah.
You'd feel. I mean, come on, man. That's disgusting. I'd feel slimy.
Right. There's way better ways to invest your money than gambling. Part of the reason that you do it is for the rush and for the competition
and for the win.
If you're either beating other players or beating the book, and and then the money is like the reward. But
so they've got these fancy glasses. What do the glasses do? They can see through the cards.
So no, not see through the cards. They have the cards have been marked, but it's like something that's like not visible to the naked eye.
Right. There's something in the card that this person now with these like meta glasses. How can you ever trust it again? And what? They're playing with people all around, and they're all playing online.
No,
they're all playing in person.
Yes.
Oh, that's what I thought. They had to be in person because how could they be doing this online? So they're all getting together like some big poker tournament in Kansas City or something.
I just going to somebody's house somewhere. Who knows where I don't know. We're gonna find out. LA, but also though, I think it looks to me like your boy Gilbert Arenas is snitching, because he got picked up for that shit, and it was out like the next day. He got out quicker than Chauncey did. That's for sure. And now all these dudes get popped after that. And there's a video of him talking about when LeBron walked up to him during the playoffs and said, "Yo, if you miss this, you know who's going to hit it." Him, Bron, and Damon Jones used to play cards a lot, and Damon Jones owed him mad money from the cards. There's a whole thing with him talking about a podcast on this a couple years ago, and Damon Jones owed him mad money, and then Damon Jones hadn't played at all, and then they put him in the game, and he hits the 3 to win, and he was so pissed, Gilbert Arenas, because he missed the free throw. And it's like you go back and look at that now, and it's like, oh, okay, dots are being connected.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame.
I know, man. It really is. I especially in the year that the Knicks win the championship, I don't want there to be this type of stain on the league, But yeah, we brought him up a little bit before. What's up with Wemby?
Wemby, listen to me. Your son was saying to me this morning when we're out playing Frisbee golf that, because he's repeating you, of course, that Brunson could win the MVP. I said, listen to me. If Wemby plays the whole season, Wemby's winning the MVP.
Dad?
Nobody can stop this guy, Nick. There's nothing anyone can do. There's nothing any two people can do about Wemby if he's right and he's healthy. That's it. He's the Shohei of the NBA right now.
That is a good comparison.
He can do it all.
Dad, he looks like when you see one of those kids who's like crazy tall, but he's playing against a bunch of other little kids that are their normal size. Yep. Like that's what he looks like when he's on the floor. It's really insane what this guy is doing. I mean, Dad, the sequence that he had where the Mavericks, they come down, and then what's the big man's name? He's 7'2". Lively is 7'2", and he tries some
like
shit.
A midget next to him.
He tries some shit where he goes up, and Wemby goes up and goes like catches it like it isn't even close to fully extended. Just like, and I mean it was like a hook shot. It was close, and he's just and then goes down and hits him with the fadeaway 3 and 1. What are we talking about? This is something unlike anything we have ever seen ever in the history of the NBA. I mean, Jesus, it's scary to think. This was against Anthony Davis.
Right.
The premier big man defender over the last
got
four
fouls on Anthony Davis in the first half.
Anthony Davis looked like his heart was taken, like he was shook. Like
Anthony Davis looked like,
what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
What am I supposed to do? I mean, the guy is just, he's so tremendous, and he's not, and he seems to be a really like a decent guy. He's not like a jerk in any way.
No, he's like a great guy.
And he's just dominant while still being, seemingly a nice guy, which can be very annoying. I'm thinking at times to his opponents because they want to hate him, But he is. I mean, man, like you said, it's almost as if it's unfair. Nick, if you had a team of Wembys and one guard, they could never lose. Seriously, if you had one guard, if you had one guard, say say Mikal Bridges size, and he played with 3 Wembys and one other guy, who gives a fuck who that guy is? They could never lose.
Yeah, they would never lose a basketball game.
They would never lose a game. They could travel the world and never lose. This guy, listen to me.
The handle. Yo, and it's low. He keeps it low. Boom, 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 boom. Right. And now he's got a little bit more mean streak in him.
And the dunks. The dunks almost seem stupid because he's not really even jumping. What I'm saying? He's jumping about as high as me.
I saw somebody put on Twitter. They were like, my wife was just looking, was like, "Oh, this isn't fair. They should have a height limit." And and my youngest daughter, who the only thing she ever comments about when basketball is on the TV is that it's a lament about how it's always on. Yeah. She walks past the screen the other day during the game, and she looks over into the screen and goes, "He's tall." Like it just jumps off the screen that this guy is so much bigger than I'm like they've said before, like, "Oh, this guy's 7'3". Yeah, I don't know. No, that dude's legit 7'6". I'm saying that there's been other guys.
I thought it was 7'5", but I don't know if it was 7'5" or 6".
I think he's still growing.
He grew since last year, they said. I listen to me. I love the pictures of him with the head shaved with the Shaolin monks. Come on, man. I see that, and I'm like, okay, this is all starting to make sense. And then the training with Akeem. Come on, man. Just like you mentioned something earlier. Listen to me. What's his name should be training, going back to the Knicks, though. OG should be training in the offseason with Carmelo. He needs to go to the Melo school.
Go to the Melo school. Yeah.
That would be perfect for OG.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. Yeah, because, Melo didn't have to put the ball on the floor that much.
Right, well, yeah.
So we know that's why you would like it.
Right.
Wemby's out of his mind,
man.
Wemby's
bananas. Wemby is bananas. I mean...
The way he was dominating that game, that first game against Dallas, and then they won again last night. They beat New Orleans by 2, I believe, which Zion's by. Zion looks like Zion again.
Look at this, man. Everybody's on the Ozempic. I'm joking.
No way.
But everybody's losing the weight, though.
Skinny Luka.
Him and Luka.
And Luka looks crazy.
I watched some of that game last night, man. Luka, the second half, I was hoping he'd get to 50, but he could only get to 49. He missed the foul shot.
Yo, man, Luka looks great. Wemby is an absolute alien. I mean, we've never seen anything
Wemby's
like it. Truthfully, we've never seen anything like it. It's like this is a transcendent player, and you just pray that this guy stays healthy and we get to enjoy him because the talent is just absolutely off the charts. And what's his name? Steph. The old man still got it.
Steph is still a bad motherfucker.
Still feels a bad motherfucker.
He is a bad dude, man. Some of those shots he made.
The confidence to take a friggin' a 3 from the hash when you're down by 3 with 20-something seconds, it's just like the confidence to take that shot and just splash.
There's nothing on the court he doesn't have enough confidence to do.
Yeah.
He clearly feels comfortable. And it's just... I'm just consistently amazed by his dribble and his. I like the way he dribbles, and he can dribble at different levels of, how hard he dribbles the ball depending on how high or low he is to the ground. It's a fantastic display.
It gets lost with him because we concentrate so much on the shooting. But I mean, after Kyrie, That's the second best handle. And the other thing that gets lost with Steph is his ability to finish around the rim. Steph will straight take you and lay you all day. And you have to respect that, which is why he's able to get off the threes that he can. Another big reason that he's able to, and that's something that I always marvel at, and I've noticed it in the game that I watched this season. I know you hate Draymond, but hate's a strong word, but he's not your favorite guy. But him and Steph's understanding of each other on the court is just otherworldly.
Well, I mean, and it should be.
Yeah,
we played together for how long now? 15 years,
something like that. Yeah.
But it should be. And it is. I mean, that's what makes them championship possibilities. And listen, they got a very good team there.
Jimmy Butler's perfect for that team.
Perfect.
He gives them exactly.
They really look good with Jimmy Butler doing what he's doing right now, and Steph doing what he's doing. They got a good young team. And listen, somebody else, another team you brought up that was really impressed me is the Lakers.
They've impressed you?
Yeah, I mean
1-1. I mean, listen, I think that when you got
obviously it's going to be about last night. I didn't see the first game.
When you get Bron back, obviously it's going to be about that and how that.
Listen to me, man. Because this guy Austin Reeves is good, man.
Austin Reeves is big.
I've always liked him, but I just saw him do some things last night where this dude's awesome off the dribble, man. He's really good, and they got some good young players there.
Listen, I think that the Lakers and the Warriors, it's all about, are they healthy when it comes to the playoffs? I mean, don't forget, the Warriors last year, up until Steph got hurt, when he got the shoulder injury late in the season, remember he missed a chunk of the playoffs. They lost. They got bounced. But, they were looking good right before that. And obviously, you got Bron with the sciatica. You saw yesterday, it was crazy. There's a picture of him. He's sitting next to Bronny, and then he's got his youngest son's Arizona jersey on.
I didn't notice that he had the jersey on. But
Yeah.
I saw him sitting next to Bronny.
Yeah, it's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
I'm just excited.
How do they say his youngest son is?
Bryce is good. Bryce is pretty good.
Is he supposed to be better than Bronny?
I don't know. They're very different players. He's bigger. He's much bigger.
Oh, is he bigger?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's much bigger. But he can shoot a little bit still, though. Yeah, he's much bigger than Bronny is. We'll see if we see Bronny at all this year. All right, man. I guess we got to talk about the Jets. Yo, what's up with Woody Johnson, man?
Woody J. Woodrow.
Shut the fuck up. Just
right.
shut the
just
fuck
say
up.
nothing. I mean, it
it'd
would be so much easier if you just didn't say. Why are no other team owners in the news? Why? People must ask them questions. They must just walk by and do shit like have a nice day, and do that. But Woody stops and talks. He doesn't have to do anything.
I never see the mayors get
right.
interviewed.
Nobody talks to the mayors, and that's fine. Right? So it says to me then that you like to talk to the media. Number one. Number two, you for some reason think there's some benefit to you talking to the media. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there is. Like some people said, him saying what he said about Justin Fields took lightened the pressure off Glenn. I don't know. I don't know if it did.
I guarantee you he was not being calculated, and that was his
I don't think so.
There's no fucking way.
There's no way it's being calculated.
No,
he just said what he said.
He just said what he said. What he said was idiotic for him to say in that forum. Once again,
it doesn't do anybody any good.
It doesn't do anybody good. It does plenty of people. It does plenty of people harm, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes, especially just the overall perception of the Jets, and that shit matters. And they've been a laughingstock for a long time now, almost a decade and a half, and they're continuing to be that.
The truth is, if I remember correctly, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but when Woody was over in London and it was all up to Chris Johnson, you didn't hear much out of Chris.
No, it's just a fucking Woody thing.
It's Woody.
And he's the problem. He's always been the problem. Everybody says it. Everybody's right. Just shut the fuck up, Woody. Just please, shut the fuck up.
I wanted to shut the fuck up.
Learn from the guy across town,
right?
And in a slightly different sport, James Dolan, who we don't hear from him anymore. We see him at the games, but we don't hear from him anymore. He's got a guy that he put in control, and he lets him do his thing.
Look at the dividends that has paid in the last 5 years.
Check that out.
The difference.
And you know what else I found interesting about this?
That's all it takes. 5 years.
Justin Fields, the NBA, the NFL especially, you can turn around even quicker than that. But Justin Fields, he talked about the fact that he just met him for the first time. He was saying during a pregame or whatever, they asked him about his relationship with Woody. He was like, I don't really have one. I just met him. What? You've never met the starting quarterback. You never like.
I don't understand that. Number one. I mean, number two. Even if that's the case, you see, if everything was rosy, if everything was going well, if that was the case, Justin Fields would have said, "Well, yeah, Woody and I have a great relationship. He's a good team owner, and he's been very helpful to you." You know what I mean? I think he partially said that because he might be a little annoyed that this guy just buried him.
I think he answered the question.
Yeah, I mean, he answered it honestly, and that's the deal. I don't know how they don't know each other. My point is that's the case. I'm sure that's the case because why else would he say it? But he might not have said that had Woody not just said the shit he said.
Right.
That's the point.
Right. It's just a wild thing for Woody to say. It doesn't make any sense. Like you said,
it doesn't help.
It doesn't help anybody.
Anyway.
Now you're making all these other guys have to answer questions about the thing that you said. And, the Jets are just such a fucking disaster. It's so frustrating. We seem like we're in full tank mode now. No Sauce, no Garrett Wilson this week.
Let's see, I don't like that thing, though. What do you mean? When people say full tank mode, what does that mean?
I mean that if a player is... if he's on the edge of whether he could play or not play, that you go ahead and say, like, nah, you're not playing this week.
Yeah, but I don't
Especially
know.
If you have an
Especially if they're
investment
on the edge. How do you know that they're on the edge? They might just be legitimately hurt. I think that's the case. Legitimately hurt because if you bring them back too soon now, they could be done for the rest of the season. So I think players play when they're hurt, when they can play. When they're just hurt. If they're injured, they don't play. So I think that's the case. But tank mode to me means that see, first of all, like I always say to you, the players and the coaches never tank. The players and the coaches try to win every single day, every single game. Otherwise, they're wasting their time. They're not going to survive in the league. Now, if the management wants to do something different, maybe that's what you're saying.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
Where the team you decide. Well, I mean that.
I think that's a smart thing to do, especially when you've invested a lot of money in some of these guys.
Yeah.
When you're 0-7. I think when you've invested a lot of money in a guy, you say, hey, if you're not feeling 90% at least, then let's go ahead and sit you down. We're not jeopardizing your health to try to win games right now because obviously winning games is not something we're going to do a lot of this season. And let me ask you this question: who do you want to start at quarterback? If it was up to you, who would start at quarterback
this week?
Yes.
You probably have to start Tyrod this week.
I would start Brady Cook.
Brady Cook. I wouldn't go that far.
We know what Tyrod is.
Well, no.
We know what he is.
No. But it's not even about knowing what he is. I don't care what Brady Cook is. I want to win a game.
No, I
want to win a game.
I want to win a game
everybody in that clubhouse. I mean, everybody needs to win a game.
I want to win a game as well. I also want to see what this kid can do. I know what Tyrod can do.
We got many games left.
I know what I obviously know what Justin Fields can and can't do. I would want to see Tyrod. Justin Fields, I think he's dealing with this as best he can. Every conversation. Listen, I mean, I don't.
You lose. I think you lose the entire. What's his name? If you do that, because you're saying to the rest of your team, we don't care about winning a game. We just care now about seeing what we got.
No, I think you're saying that we haven't won a game with either of these guys. Let's give this guy a shot and let's see what we got.
Yeah, I think you'd have to give a little more of a chance to Tyrod, like at least a couple games. If Tyrod shits the bed, then maybe I'd go to Brady Cook. But I'm trying to win a game as desperately as I can for the team, for the players in the locker room, most of all. So that they can, because if you're that coach, you want to try to win a game, man. I mean, I don't think he's necessarily losing the locker room, but, sooner or later, if you keep losing, you're going to lose the locker room. It's just going to happen because people are losing. So you need to win a game. Everybody there wants to win a game. So that's the most important thing. And I think Tyrod now probably gives you the best opportunity. Wasn't too happy with his 2 picks last week. But those I also blame a little bit on the receiver, too, even though they were terribly on the throne. Yeah, even though they were terribly on the throne, I need my receiver right there. No matter what, you just have to make sure it's an incomplete pass. That has to be the worst case scenario. If you see it on the throne, get into defensive mode. You got to come up. You got to do something. You can't just languish back.
That would be nice.
That's what a good receiver is supposed to do. He's putting it up there just to give you a chance. Bad throw,
put it up there, put it out there a little bit further, late and a little bit, and you need to put a little bit more on it.
No doubt about it.
I mean, come on, let Brady cook. Your boy Quincy is back this week,
which is important. We're going to need him because we're going to need to, we're going to need to play a lot of zone or bracket those receivers. You can't play them man to man.
With no sauce?
Right. So you have to bracket them. Even with sauce, I would bracket them. Those guys. They're too good. So that means my guys in the middle have to do more because you're going to have less people to tackle people up the middle. So you have to start, what was that guy's name? Jones or Chase? They're running back. He had a good game last week for what's the name? And I heard Bart make this point. Very good point. Flacco is very good at getting the ball out quickly.
Yep.
He's got a very strong arm. He gets the ball out quickly. But if you can, which always drives me crazy now, a lot of people in the NFL now, even when they have a man up front and playing a guy, they never chuck anybody off the line. You need to chuck a guy off the line. And sometimes, Bart was saying, sometimes, man, he was saying things like they used to do back in Baltimore and with the Jets. You bring a guy out, even like a Jermaine Johnson. Let him line up wide. And when that guy's coming off the line, you just chuck him, and now you rush the passer. But you chuck him just to ruin their timing and rush the passer because he says that tackle's got to wait for you anyway. He's back there waiting for you anyway, and now rush the passer because if you make Flacco have to hold the ball for another second, it changes everything. It could.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, all that's fine, but I just think I just first and foremost, we're not going to score enough points. That's what to me. It's I think about the defense.
We need
sometimes
a couple
the defense
turnovers.
has been a little bit better here recently, but the Jets are not going to score enough points to keep up with that team. We saw him in his duel with Aaron Rodgers, and like you and I have both said, the thing that everybody talks about, it's not that good of a quarterback draft, and whether or not this guy or that guy is even a real NFL talent. It doesn't matter because until I see anything differently, when it goes back to not just how they develop the quarterbacks, but decisions that they make around the quarterbacks. That I wanted them to keep Sam Darnold and go get Penei Sewell, instead of getting rid of him and drafting Zach Wilson. And then even when it comes to Zach Wilson, the offensive line that they gave him in his first couple years. It's just, listen, even when it comes to fucking Brett Favre, I'm not sorry, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, look, we just continue to make the wrong decisions, thinking that Justin Fields was going to be a better quarterback if winning is what you're trying to do than Aaron Rodgers is crazy. And, I just think that we just continue to make the wrong decisions around all of our quarterbacks, and we see all of them go to different places and immediately be more successful. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. They have to unlearn the shit that they learned when they were a Jet. It's just frustrating this way. I saw Steve Young talking about the other time, and he's like, it's Justin Fields to a certain extent, and obviously he hasn't had a ton of success anywhere that he's gone. But he's like, I'm not confident in anybody that they're going to have their best years when they go play for the Jets because it just does. It's that you saw. I'm sure you've seen the video of that kid walking out of the game, and man, that's how. So I thought that kid encapsulated how so many Jets fans feel, and it's just frustrating.
Listen,
you got beef with the kid.
I got no beef with him, but he can kick rocks. Get the hell out of here then. Take off the jersey and keep it moving. No, sorry for the kid. Give him a tissue. As far as listen, we've made bad decisions with quarterbacks. I think we've got a decent offensive line now, although we haven't played great all year. And if we continue to do better there, I think it'll bode well for whoever this next new quarterback we bring in.
We're already talking about that.
We've had bad decisions and not done a good job of surrounding quarterbacks. But Nick, this is sports, so all you can do is hope that the next decision or what we're going to do going forward is better. That's all that there is. That's all you can hold. You can't even really hold on to that, but that's all you can aspire to. I hope that we draft a good quarterback, but I think, like we've spoken about, you got to keep drafting quarterbacks till you get a good one. You really do. I don't know who that quarterback is this coming year. I do know I'm pretty confident that, Aaron Glenn and whoever his coaching staff is going to be around next year. So hopefully they can get somebody good and coach him up. I don't know. While I don't think I'm disappointed, obviously, in Justin Fields, I'm not thrilled with Tanner Engstrand, although the first couple of weeks I thought his play calling was better, and then it seems to have gone south. But I also feel like the offensive line hasn't played as well. as it did, say, the first week or two. I also feel like the quarterback hasn't played as well. That may be part and parcel to the offensive line not playing well, as well as Fields seems to, you see, this is what's so confounding to me, Nick. There was a couple passes in that first game, which I was in attendance. Listen to me, even from up there in the stands, there were a couple that, to me, I was very nervous that he threw this ball and squeezed it into tight holes. Bang! Good hard throws down the field. He seems to have lost the will to do that. And I'm not understanding where that's gone.
Lost the will.
He's lost the will and the confidence.
I hear you. It's just a crazy. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just crazy that what are we?
Well, how does that happen? I mean, why would that change? Was it the concussion? But the concussion, I don't know.
His brain's rattled. He's scared now.
He's a little scrambled eggs. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know either. But you know what? Listen. There's a reason why this guy is on his third team when he was, a number one pick.
Now, all of that said, Nick, I agree with it. I know what you're going to say. I agree with all that. But I also feel like we haven't put him in the best situation to succeed here. We're rolling him out, making him another running option. We haven't done that at all. Now, I've also seen some people break it down where they show that and they're like, on this play right here, Justin has the chance to run the ball. But one, either he doesn't and he gives it to the running back who's diving into like a wall, or two, somebody out here misses their block. So Justin sees that guy steaming at him, so he gives it to the running back to come to, shoot up the gap.
His reading of the option is horrible. There's multiple times where I'm watching the game and I'm saying, "Oh, he should have kept it right." You know what I mean? And then I've seen those same breakdowns that you have, where it's just like, "Yo, what the? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it with this guy. He stays prayed up though. I'll say that.
Yeah,
he stays up. Everything comes back to. And listen, I don't begrudge any man, his religious beliefs or whatever. But it's like, so what? Are the guys who are like busting your ass? Or does God love them more? Like what exactly?
No, God loves them too. But that's just it. At the end of the day, if everything you're saying is to be believed, God loves us all. So that's not a determining factor in your play on the field, honestly. If you believe that God loves us all, we're all God's children, then your love for God or his love for you doesn't determine how you play on the field. So it determines how big and strong or how fast that guy is.
Right. Right. Last but not least, I got to ask, well, I guess, very least, but I think this is funny. Did you see Eric Chavez, his comment? So you have Pete and Soto and Lindor, they're all finalists for the Silver Slugger, and there was a post about it. And Eric Chavez reposted it with the words, "Take that in," as if he's just like, you see, he's trying to take credit for these great hitters in the MLB having normal years for those types of guys. Eric Chavez is
Soto
like,
had his best year of home runs, but not average. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's stupid.
It's absurd, Eric Chavez. Go away. Just go away. Just go away. You're out. You're not here anymore. We've moved on. Stop. Just stop.
I think guys who are doing shit like that, they're sitting there with a half full bottle of Don Julio, and now it's time to start tweeting. They're just silly and they're giggling and they're doing shit like that.
I don't know. I think him and Tibbs are hanging out.
Tibbs ain't tweeting nothing.
Tibbs don't tweet.
Exactly.
But Tibbs is actually just going to other teams and giving up state secrets.
Tibbs is getting paid. Tibbs is laying foundation for his next job. Tibbs wants to get back out there. And
yeah. Yo, some people say, Portland, they got a vacancy.
Hello, they got some. I mean, clearly, dude is on leave.
I don't see there being any way that he coaches again this season.
His key card is void.
He's like, boop.
Yeah. He cannot come back into the facility. No way, man. No way.
No doubt.
The persona non grata. Sorry, man. That's so stupid. It's so stupid. I mean, if you want to play poker with your friends or whatever, but you got to go high level. And if he knew that people were being cheated with these, Nick, I can't see him being part and parcel to that unless he was being squeezed somehow. Like the other fellow, I think it was Damon Jones, told these guys that, hey, LeBron and this guy are not going to play. They did play, and they won. These guys lost some money, and evidently now they want to come see, hey, Damon, they want to come see you.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that guy now doing silly shit because they're like, dude, you owe me. Why else would Chauncey do something like? I mean, why for a couple $100,000? Like we're talking about, Nick. Unless he's got some weird, wild addiction, why are you putting at risk everything you've worked your entire life? I mean, entire life for.
Yeah.
This is your life, dude. Poker, dude. Come on, man.
Catch us every week on YouTube or wherever you find your podcasts. Please follow, like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification button on all platforms. Really appreciate all the love. You can find us on all socials at Independent Nick. That's Independent N.I.C. Love you, big guy.
Love you, kid.